everyone? This is Jailers from Knick Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time for us to talk Knicks Hornets. All right, the Knicks are playing the Hornets tonight. Dennis Smith Jr. be looking for a revenge game, but hopefully we can stop that in this tracks, okay? But let's go. We're gonna get all to it. But to talk Knicks Hornets, I want to introduce my guest, my man Sam Dracula. Sam Dracula has his own YouTube channel detailing the Charlotte Hornets, and he's gonna break us down. He's gonna help us look at the team matchups and tell us everything there is to know about the Charlotte Hornets. So please, everybody, welcome Sam Dracula. What's going on, Sam?
Yeah. Hey man, thanks for having me. Also do a podcast with Raymond Felton, our shared guy, Raymond Felton.
Wait,
so.
whoa, hold on. You do a pod with our guy Ray? Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to mention that as well. Yeah. We talk Hornets, so sorry, Knicks fans. Well, some Knicks stuff may be tossed in there because we'll talk about like his career every once in a while. But yeah, it's called Believe in Hornets. It's a weekly podcast available everywhere.
Understood,
but yeah, shout out to Ray Felton.
I've actually talked to Ray before. I was actually started out doing a show with somebody else, and we introduced Raymond Felton. Ray's a really cool guy, man. Really cool guy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to it. We're here to talk Knicks versus Hornets.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. So, and we talked about this earlier before, but the Knicks versus Hornets matchup is really interesting because of its unpredictability, right? There's no LaMelo Ball because of injuries. There's no your boy, Terry Rozier.
Yeah,
he's also injured. So there's a lot of X factors. So even though I feel like Knicks can take them, I don't want to get too comfortable because of what y'all just did to the Hawks the last game. All right, so we want to cool our horses because there's a lot of things can go wrong. So
yeah, and no Cody Martin, who's our best perimeter defender too. He played 1 minute this season. He missed all preseason, got hurt after a minute, quad injury. It's not like terrible, but like it's been tough. So this Hornets team, when you mention unpredictability, no one knows what to expect. This team, the Hornets fans haven't seen this team at full health yet either. So like what this team is still a question mark even for us. So that's why like these games are so exciting going forward. You mentioned the Hawks game. We saw what the Pelicans did to the Hornets, and then there's a Spurs game. Like the Spurs are the Spurs, so you kind of have to throw that whole thing out because of the state of the Spurs at the moment.
You're right.
It's true.
You're right.
Spurs be Spurs.
The Spurs being the Spurs. I was like, dang, they lost DeJounte and they're still getting busy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
but I digress. Let's get to it. Let's get to these matchups, Knicks versus Hornets, and get to our first head scratcher. The first guy on the list, the first matchup that I have the most questions about probably is Dennis Smith Jr. versus Jalen Brunson. Like, Knicks Nation is very familiar with Dennis Smith Jr. Okay? Very familiar.
Yep.
As I click this off, we get to the start. Dennis Smith Jr. is a guy who doesn't really hit threes at a high clip. He has very high highs and low lows when it comes to games. He doesn't really get up for every game. But since he's been with you guys, I think I heard something that said like he's rated the highest plus minus on the defensive end or something. I think he said he has the highest defensive rating so far in the NBA, which is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. Like, I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if he's just locked in general, but he's been bringing it. And I mentioned how Cody Martin's been out. He's been the best perimeter defender on the team. Like on whether it's like the point attack or coming over to help. Like Dennis Smith Jr. for us has been a godsend because this team around the perimeter defending non-existent before this. Like before this season, it's been tragic. And is that Steve Clifford? Is that just, I don't know, these guys like Smith is on a non-guaranteed deal? Is it that? I don't know, but I'm here for it. I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
Fighting for his NBA life. So yeah. I know for me, when I watch Jalen Brunson guard guys, sometimes I feel like he has trouble against the speedier guys. So I feel like it's gonna be a style difference. I definitely feel like Jalen's gonna bring it.
Yep.
He's been really solid for us. 7 assists a game, making the the correct plays, taking the ball out of Julius Randle's hands, shooting threes, posting up. So I fully expect him to take advantage of his size against Dennis Smith Jr. But I'm not sure how much of a fight Dennis is going to put up. So that's what I'm really looking to see how that plays out. Plus, I want to see how he reacts coming back to the Garden.
Yeah,
that's what I really want to see.
I think Brunson's gonna get his numbers, and I think Smith and whoever helps him will give him a hard time. Like he's gonna put up stuff, but I think we'll see like 4 or 5 turnovers from Brunson tonight, just from the Hornets. It's kind of being bought in on the defensive end, but there's no stopping Brunson on this team. Like we can't do anything about it. We just kind of make it a little more difficult for him.
Yeah, I can see that. You guys are still what? They ranked 7th in pace still with no LaMelo, 4th in offensive rating, and 12th in defensive rating. So, yeah, guys are still kind of competing. On the flip side, let's see. The Knicks are still up there in a lot of 16th in pace, not as fast. Offensive rating, we're 7th in offensive rating, so it should be offense bonanza. But our defense has been pretty good as well. Defense is pretty good, 5th in offensive rating. But for us, we're going to have to keep it with their pace. We can't get lazy. We have to run back on defense. They're gonna look to get steals and get out transitions, and we're gonna have to be in our P's and Q's. So far, we've been good with that, but we're really gonna have to be in P's and Q's today.
Yeah, no, and I'll say for the Hornets because when this team in the past, it's hard to talk about this team because we have a new coach, and I'm still stuck in the cloud of last year with how this team would come out to slow starts in the first quarter and then have to fight back for 3 just to make it a competitive game. This year, that really hasn't been the case. The Hornets haven't been down terribly. Like when they played the Pelicans just outmanned them, and every time it got into single digits, Pelicans just put on the gas and just took off, like went into another gear.
Right.
Hawks, Spurs, they didn't do that. The Hornets were able to maintain those games without, overextending and putting up without shooting a bunch of threes that weren't going in. Like they're playing really disciplined. So Oubre, who I see we have next there, he's in that same camp, a guy who wasn't very disciplined last year when it came to shot selection. This year, he's taking fewer threes, and his overall percentage, he's taking 3 fewer threes per game through the same point of last year, where it was a tragic. You didn't know what you were going to get from Kelly Oubre from distance. This year, he's been more selective. He's been shooting at a higher percentage, and has been like a real contributor because he's not meant to be starting. He's meant to be our 6th man, but with Terry, LaMelo, Cody Martin, Kelly Oubre is our starting shooting guard right now.
Right, and he's a guy who's actually looking at too. I felt like I was interested in him, but as for Evan Fournier, for me and for Knicks fans, we're always looking at Evan Fournier as the odd man out defensively. We're always going to have that worry that whoever's going to be the opposing 2 guard, we're going to have to play a lot of help defense. So I'm worried about Evan in that regard. So hopefully he can step it up. As far as him hitting threes, it's been kind of shaky-ish so far. But I think he's still trying to figure out where he's getting his shots from with this new Knicks offense, where we got. It seems like the hierarchy is set where it's RJ, it's Jalen, and it's Julius Randle, and Evan kind of gets the scraps, Evan and Mitch. So I don't know if that's throwing off his rhythm. He hasn't been horrible from 3, super horrible, but he hasn't been the Evan of last year so far. So, but hopefully he starts to catch fire today and figure out where his shots are going to come from. But ultimately, I still feel like we're going to end up subbing him out in the 4th quarter for someone defensive, whether it be Cam or whether it be IQ, who's been doing it so far. But yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
I might give that edge. I'm definitely giving the edge to Oubre on that matchup for me.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm here for that because again, this year's Oubre has been way more disciplined, getting to the rim especially, and getting to the foul line, which he didn't do a lot of last year. He's doing it more so far this year. So I'm a fan of Oubre. So I'm looking forward to see if he continues that development.
Right. I'm gonna go with Jalen for the first matchup though, even though I don't know what Dennis is gonna do.
No,
I'm going with Jalen.
Yeah. I'm with you. I like Dennis Smith Jr., but not that much. I feel you, man.
RJ versus Gordon Hayward. This is annoying to me. I don't know what to expect from Gordon Hayward either. Gordon Hayward used to be an all-star. He used to ball out.
Yep.
What is he doing right now?
He's balling out. He's getting it done on both ends. It's really quiet the way he gets his points. That's the big thing with him. No one doubts his ability. If you do, I don't know what you're watching. Like, he can score on 3 levels.
Yeah.
He's a veteran. He's like the adult in the room for this Hornets team right now, especially. And if he stays healthy, he's a key piece of what they're going to do this season. Like, this team, I don't have a lot of this Hornets team I have concerns about, mainly with Hayward's health. Obviously, if he's healthy, if he can play 70 plus games, this Hornets team can do something this year. But this year, especially, I think he's been very good, really efficient. And again, the adult in the room when there needs to be some stability with all these guys out.
And with RJ, I need his 3-point shot to come back. He started to hit a couple last game. But for him, I just need his decisions making this kind of step up. That's what I've been missing from RJ. But he's notoriously a slow starter. And he's starting a little bit slow today. I mean, so far. But I expect him to kind of pick it up. I'm hoping he at least equals Gordon Hayward's effort today and starts to do what he does best. I want him to take on that personality from Jalen Brunson, go to the hole, kick it out, find open teammates and not force. And then when he has the lane, finish strong. Because I do like that he's finishing better so far a little bit. When he has the opportunity to finish correctly. When I mean finish correctly, I mean when he's taking the right shots. You know what I mean? But sometimes he gets a little tunnel vision. But hopefully there's some carryover from the last game, because we played the Magic the last game, and I felt like he started setting his teammates up more, and he started hitting threes, and he started playing more like RJ. And as long as he does that and he starts to get going to open floor, he should be okay. But this matchup to me is like a question mark for me. I can see it going either way. I can definitely see Gordon Hayward taking it, but I can also see RJ taking it, depending on what RJ we get today.
Yeah. I mean, Hayward, I think he's largely Mr. Consistent, and I'm not worried about him when he's out there. I with very few exceptions, like unless we're playing like the Celtics and Jason Tatum, I'm favoring Hayward in those type of matchups. Unless it's like the super elite guy. So I back Hayward. I back Hayward there.
Yeah, I can't even fault you. Julius Randle, prodigal son, has come back to the Knicks. The Garden Faithful has actually cheered for him last game. I thought you need to know that, because after the thumbs down thing, there's been a debate on whether we even want him or not. You might not even know. Did you hear about the Julius Randle, Terry Rozier trade rumors?
No. 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 When was that? This summer?
No, this was like 2 seasons ago. A season
2 seasons ago. Was it before or after? Yeah, Randall had the crazy
Scott
year.
Perry wanted to trade Randall for Rozier.
Before was it before that year? He had the All-Star Most Improved Player year, or was it after that?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so. But if I actually have faith in Randall, I'm weird to say.
Yeah. So
this is one of like he has these empty stats that they had last year. The most impressive thing I've seen from this year is the effort on the defensive end, the commitment to running, the commitment to getting other people involved. He's hitting a couple of threes here and there, but floater game has been good. He's been finishing better, and he's been a two-way player and the demon on the rebounding. And so I feel like Randall is going to have a good game.
Yeah. Randall's gonna have he's gonna outscore PJ for sure. Like, PJ's out there. His main priority is on defense. He's like Mason Plumlee. PJ's on Mason Plumlee, like cleanup duty, basically. If Mason gets sucked into like a bad switch or something like that, PJ's gonna have to do a lot of covering. And so that's where his impact's gonna be. He's gonna PJ will hit a couple threes, but his job today, and really his job this season, is to defend the post, basically, until Richards or like some of these other guys, the younger guys on the team, step up and be like, all right, this is our center going forward, or what have you. But yeah, PJ, yeah. So I think Randall's gonna have a better night statistically, but PJ's gonna be the one. Like his job is to slow that down.
Right. Yo, my computer is bugging today, guys. I'm trying to work with it. I'm trying to work. Man, this is crazy. All right. Last matchup I want to talk about, Mitchell Robinson versus Plumlee. Blotness Monta has been incredible for us. Defensively, he stepped up. I think I definitely know Mitch is going to dominate this one, especially considering his length, his quickness. I think we're going to end up involving Plumlee's pick and rolls and try to take advantage of that lob threat, especially between Mitch and RJ. I can see that happening. The thing we have to worry about with Plumlee is that the passing he brings from the foul line, especially with LaMelo here. They could probably go into that a little bit more. We have to be on our P's and Q's about that. But I mean, we did decently with Wendell Carter Jr. Last game. That's kind of a similar strength. But I think Mitchell Robinson got this matchup.
Yeah, like, you know, the Hornets just played the Hawks, and Clint Capella got a double-double, right? But, you know, Hornets handled the Hawks. So like Plumlee, like you mentioned, he's gonna bring the passing, like some playmaking. I don't want to like overstate it. He's just I lovingly call him Nikola Plumlee. He's far from Jokic, right?
Nikola Plumlee. We got one of those too. Yeah.
You'll see him run the ball up the floor
on the bench.
Yeah, man. I like him. I wish he was in Charlotte. Yeah, you'll see him tonight bring the ball up the floor, and Hornets fans will pull their hair out. But it's okay. Mason Plumlee is just okay. I imagine he's gonna get dunked on quite a bit tonight. But I think he's gonna be involved in rebounding and on the playmaking side, with maybe a few made free throws. He's shooting left-handed still. It's doing better. Be on the lookout for that. He's even worked up the confidence to take a left-handed jump shot.
Oh, so really?
Just be mindful of that, Knicks fans. It's gonna be it's gonna be a sight to see when you see it in real time. It's like, whoa, he's shooting it? Oh no.
He's been watching Kyrie look like, okay.
Yeah. Mitchell Robinson's the better player there.
A little bit. I'll say it. Yeah. And here's the thing, the bench. All right. This is your projected bench, correct? Who's gonna get most of the minutes?
Yeah, for the Hornets. Yeah, it's starting with Book Night's tough, man. It's that shook me a little bit. But that's the state of things. That's the state of things. Given certain injuries we have going into the year. But yeah, Book Night got 10 points the other night, which was big because he just hasn't looked good at all during preseason. He missed Summer League with a pinky injury. Had a terrible preseason, had one good quarter, the final quarter of preseason. In the last game, the fourth quarter of the last game, he had a good showing. Like he looked actually looked comfortable out there. And then he had the off-court stuff. And then he had a 10-point game last night off the bench, or not last night, whatever, 2 nights ago. And so my question with him is, what do we see tonight? I just don't know what to expect from him at all. So anything is a pleasant surprise, but he just hasn't looked good on the ball. His shot hasn't looked good. He hasn't been it defensively, but he looked good against the Hawks. So maybe that's a sign of things to come. But against Quickly, there's not even a question. Like Quickly is years ahead of Book Night.
Yeah, I'll give the edge to Quickly as well. I feel like the bench in general is where we're gonna start to really eat. And it's funny because Quickly hasn't really been shooting the lights out. But last game he actually had a 0-point game, but he had 8 assists and 7 rebounds, or 7 assists and 8 rebounds. I don't know which one is which, but he still affected the game. And I think that's a lot of Knicks fans really want to see from Quickly. They want to see more point guard Quickly and not Chuck Quickly. So hopefully we see that Quickly. But the good thing about Quickly though is even if he doesn't shoot well, he always he gives his all on the defensive end. So I expect that to happen. He's gonna give his all on defense. Like I said, he might end up closing if the game is kind of close to be put on Oubre. But it also might be Cam Reddish because Cam Reddish has been showing up defensively too. And Cam Reddish is a little bit of a bigger body. And I would actually be a little bit worried about the Quickly versus Oubre matchup, personally, even as good as a defensive guy that Quickly is. I might be more
with the size
comfortable with
on him
Cam in that regard because I like what Cam brought to the last game on the defensive end anyway.
Yeah, I think Oubre would have the size advantage over Quickly in a crunch time lineup. So yeah, I think that makes more sense bringing on a guy like Reddish to defend Oubre if it gets down to that.
Yeah. What about McDaniels? Because I know Derrick Rose, he hasn't really been playing a lot much lately. He's only played like 5 or something minutes last game. So we're probably gonna end up staggering minutes and having RJ play with them a little bit. That's what Tibbs been doing last game anyway. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen there. But what's going on with Jalen McDaniels?
So Jalen is one of the guys that's like the poster child for the Hornets developmental system, right? He was a second round pick, spent his time in the G League, came along slowly, has gotten better every single season. And so tonight, at this point of his career, similar to JT Thor, who's at the bottom there, they're gonna do very similar things tonight. These guys are very tall. JT Thor has a better like NBA body, like is a bigger dude than Jalen, but yeah, these guys are really nice athletes, big wings that can do a lot of things on both ends. So they're been causing a lot of issues, I guess. Like issues for us, issues for y'all, but like, good stuff for us when it comes to switching on defense, running the floor, defending, rebounding, and they both can shoot. They can shoot. They're confident, willing shooters. They're not going off the dribble, but you'll catch them in the corner every once in a while if the Knicks slack on defense. Someone will find them. The Hornets ball movement this year has been really impressive. Guys making that extra pass and finding their teammates. So Thor and McDaniels, I think, could benefit with that if they're on the floor. But yeah, so those two dudes are, for me, and Nick Richards, and then we'll get to that in a second. But from like a wing point of view, those guys are pride and joy. Like I'm so happy these guys are doing so well because Thor, again, second round pick, another similar to McDaniels. He was in the same draft class as Kai Jones and James Bouknight and has surpassed them. The 2 first-round picks. Like JT Thor is a more important player than the 2 guys they took in the first round in the same class. So JT Thor is legit. I'm excited for more fans to see him play. And I'm glad that the new coach, Clifford, is believing in Thor because we saw some glimpses of things last year, and we're seeing more and more as the year goes on.
So I guess the matchup to really look at might be the Cam Reddish versus JT Thor matchup.
Yeah. I think Jalen and JT, I think, and Cam, just, depending on the staggering goes, because even Obi Toppin, like Thor and McDaniel will play some 3 and 4, just depending on what's going on. But so yeah, like it's gonna be that's gonna be like one of those like low key matchups that like basketball nerds are gonna really dig because these guys are gonna be really exciting at some point, and they'll show some flashes here tonight.
Yeah, and I can say for that for Obi Toppin, one thing Obi is going to do is he's going to run. He's going to run. He's gonna run. He's gonna run some more. So as long as we get that rebound, look out for that leak out. He's probably at least gonna get 4 points on a leak out. So I'm looking for Obi to continue to do that, and do some passing. But I think the key to Obi really is getting that jump shot going. If he hits a 3 or 2 to get himself going, then the floodgates happen for him, and then it really starts to open up. But I'm excited to see if Obi can continually play well. He actually only scored 10 points last game, but it was one of those things where Julius Randle was playing so well that the coach sat him, even though Obi was playing well as well. So I'm excited to see if Obi can get some burn this game and show off and flex. And also ready to see what's going to happen with Hartenstein because Knicks Richards seems like, he's starting to turn the corner.
Oh man, I got another nickname for him, Kareem Abdul Richards.
Wow,
I'm loving.
Y'all going out the window with that. Kareem Abdul Richards.
3 games, 2 double-doubles. What were we saying? One of them is against the Spurs. So allow it. But
I mean, we are prone to overreacting over here in Knicks land, so I get it. All right.
As fans, we're allowed to be irrational. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So we're 3 games into the year. Richards again, another second round pick for the Hornets. A guy, the second center they took in the same draft. He's outlasted Vernon Carey and a lot of other guys to still be on the team 3 years later, and has really turned the corner. And he's going to bring rebounding, dunks, and so like he's not gonna like it's not not going to be swatting shots left and right, anything like that, but he's going to offer some protection at the rim. And his free throw is nice. He can actually shoot the ball from the free throw line, unlike Plumlee. Like Richards is like a 75% free throw shooter, where Plumlee is like half that. So in crunch time, you can see Richards out there, which something the Hornets haven't really had before. A center that can play in crunch time that's not a liability at the free throw line. So if it gets down to those late game situations, Richards could bring something. He's kind of playing himself into those. He's playing himself into trust with the coach and being a guy who can crunch, be available in crunch time, and maybe eventually, a week, a month, the new starting center on the team. Like, he may play his way into that if he continues this trend. But so I'm like irrationally high on Nick Richards. I'm really happy for his success. But again, 3 games into the season, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think he played very well. He played better than Capella. They weren't exactly a matchup, but against Capella and John Collins, Richards was a standout. Against Valanciunas, different story. Valanciunas just big dogged him for the whole game. So just every rebound that came their way. But you have that Valanciunas. That's what he does.
I feel you. Hey, listen, man. Jalen Brunson is the second coming of Mark Jackson, okay? That's what we see it over here. All right? So I get it. And for us, we have Isaiah Hartenstein over here, all right? Isaiah is a guy who's going to hit those threes every now and again. He can shoot from the foul line. He got a nice little floater. He can play defense too. Sometimes a little bit overzealous, tiny bit, but he also plays defense. And he's kind of been working his way in the rotation too. Last game, he and Mitch actually split minutes. So with him, it's kind of like a flow of the game thing. Whatever we need, whatever's happening with foul trouble, you'll see Isaiah Hartenstein come in. Like for the Memphis Grizzlies game, he came in and he gave us 30-something minutes and really helped us. Actually gave us a little bit more spacing when he played with the first unit with that threat to hit the 3 and even just a little floater. So us here, Knicks Nation, we're high in Hartenstein as well. And we really love that pickup. So the Isaiah versus Richards thing might be something to watch. The OB Cam versus the Theo McDaniels thing might be something to watch. Yeah. Quickly, I'm thinking Quickly has it. I'm thinking Quickly has that matchup. But this should be a fun matchup overall. I'm always gonna believe in the Knicks bench. I feel like we have top 5 bench in the league. That's me personally. Especially if we click on all. So that's me personally. Even if Derrick Rose plays, then come on. I mean,
are you guys missing anybody? Is anyone hurt?
We're missing Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes
is possibly our best perimeter defender. The thing is, he kind of worked his way into the lineup last season and did some good things. He got torched. A little bit defending against the Bucks, defending Middleton. But that's Middleton, right? He's like 6'10". Yeah. But then the next game, he played him again, gave him some fits, dropped 30 on their head. And he's a guy who he's always going to give 100% on the defensive end. And a lot of Knicks Nation is really clamoring for him to start over Evan Fournier. Some people also want Cam to start Evan Fournier. But we really trust him defensively. And to kind of give everything that Evan does, the quick trigger from 3, but also bring the defense at the same time. So a lot of people are really high on Grimes. On Grimes. But he has an injury to his foot that is hurting preseason, and he's been day to day for a while now. So we're waiting to see when he comes back, but hopefully he comes back soon.
Gotcha. Because I remember during the Donovan Mitchell stuff, Grimes was one of those names that the Knicks weren't really willing to give up for Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if that was true or not. I know.
The front office Ian Begley. Ian was here on the show. We talked about that, and he said it was really confirmed. I don't believe it was like a situation where he was untradeable. I think for me, the most likely scenario is they didn't want to put him in the package with RJ at the same time. They want to separate the two. Yeah. It was like him with a package or RJ with a package, but not both. To me, that makes the most logical sense. To have him be untradeable in a Donovan Mitchell deal, I just don't buy it.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was surprising. But yeah. Salute to you, man. Salute. I got the Knicks winning. What you got?
So, I think the Knicks win as well.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be like 115, 105, something like that. But I'm a Hornets fan, so I tend to err on the side of the L.
Of course.
Also, low key hoping the team tanks. So wouldn't hate it. Like I want my team to win every single game, right? On the record, I do live streams during Hornets games. I'm rooting for the Hornets to win every game. But if they lose, I'm not losing a single second of sleep over it because of a certain Frenchman out there.
Listen, y'all only gonna pick this year, right?
Yeah, well, it's kind of. So if it's top 16 protected. So
okay,
yeah, the Hornets also have the Nuggets pick, which is hilarious because it's lottery protected. So the Hornets will have 2 picks this year. But yeah, we have our own pick. It's top 16 protected.
Yo, it's funny because I know everybody in NBA is going after that Lakers pick.
Yeah,
and I know y'all got Terry Rozier, and y'all look at those Lakers pick like gold. I know you guys are, and I know some people in the nation are looking at the Lakers the same way. They're like, some people were like, well, if Julius Randle plays well, maybe you can package him in Evan or something for those 2 first-round picks. So we might be competing on the backside of some trade scenarios with the Lakers, like everybody else.
Yeah, on a Westbrook deal.
Yeah, exactly. On a Westbrook deal.
Yeah, for the Hornets, it'd have to be Terry and Hayward, for Westbrook and those picks. It's gonna be a race, man. Because so whoever team is only gonna ask for one of those picks is gonna get it. Because I think it's gonna be when December comes around and kind of everybody's available to be traded at that point. Whatever team's willing to take less when it comes to those picks, like we'll get Westbrook and I think win the sweepstakes. So we'll see, man. I want this team to win. Before the season started, I thought a combination of the Knicks, Wizards, or the Magic could take the Hornets spot as the 10 seed. Mm-hmm. If it's not one of those teams, maybe 2 of those teams. So I didn't feel good about the roster going in 3 games, and it feels pretty great. But again, it's a long season. So when January comes, and if this Hornets team is a 10 seed in January, it's like, man, just throw in the towel, man.
Exactly. I'm gonna be surprised if December 1st y'all start trading. When's the trade deadline start? Were you allowed to trade people?
I think it's December. It's middle of December, I think, when the guys who are signed in the offseason, it just becomes easier to trade people. In December.
Terry's gone. He's gone. I can't imagine y'all competing.
I love Terry.
After December. I just can't. I already know. Y'all want to pair LaMelo with Victor. I already know.
Yeah, or Scoot, man. I'm not picky. I'll take either of them.
I'll take Scoot too.
The best way for this Hornets team to get better is through the draft or through the trade market, because it's not a free agent destination, and the cap isn't great for the Hornets either. It's a tough cap situation for the boys. So, if it involves, taking your foot off the gas for one season, little mini tank for 1 year, I'm here for it, man. I'll something like that. I'm watching these games live anyways. I'm a sufferer myself, so I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to sacrifice my live streams for 1 year for a chance at Wembanyama.
There's a lot of Knicks fans who want to tank too, but we got Jalen Brunson here. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. The best we can hope for is package some picks to move up in this draft. And moving up won't get us Scooter or Victor, but we hope maybe a good consolation prize, if anything. That's the most we can hope for you.
But you guys been trading out and back for a couple years now, so you should have a decent amount of first rounders, right?
Oh yeah, we got a good amount.
Yeah.
We got 2 this year. I think we have an 8 or 9 going forward. We have all our first round picks. We got 3 from OKC, so we're pretty loaded. But some people might say the OKC picks aren't worth much because they're protected and but at least one of those picks, the one we have from the Bucks, should be worth something, bare minimum. So we're good on picks. We're good on picks. But man, yo, thanks for coming through, man. A lot of valuable info.
Anytime. Always happy to talk basketball and Hornets stuff. Whether things are good or bad, it's always interesting talking Hornets stuff. So I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, same here. I'm a glutton for punishment too. We good or bad, we here talking Knicks. Rain or shine. All right. 2015 season, 2016 season. Here talking Knicks. So respect, brother. All right.
Appreciate you.
Yo, let them know people can find you, sir.
Yeah. YouTube.com/Sam Dracula. SamDracula.com has all my links. Hornets. I do Hornets content on YouTube and on the podcast. Waves. So YouTube videos, YouTube live streams during Hornets games, and then I do a podcast with Raymond Felton every single week, talking mainly Hornets. It's called Believe in Hornets. Available everywhere. Again, SamDracula.com to get the link to everything. It's all there, nice and easy to find. Yeah, and then we'll talk like other NBA stuff as well, but it's mainly Hornets content. But if you want to, support a former Knick, give us a listen. We're recording a new episode tomorrow, so we'll be talking about this Knicks game.
Yeah, shout out to the guy Raymond Felton, Knicks legend. I feel like underappreciated Knicks point guard here, man.
Yeah,
people leave him out when they talk about Knicks point guard, but I like this game. All right, at least when he's here, he really gave his all.
Oh, for sure.
All right. You already know, man. You already know to find us. You can find us at DKT Show on Twitter, Knick Time Show on Instagram and Facebook. Also, you can check out the blog, right, at knicktimeshow.com. Writers are doing good things over there, writing at the blog. And also check out Fubu TV. If you go to FubuTV.com/KOT, you can get MSG free for 7 days free trial. And if you decide to extend that, you'll help us out. And you help yourself out to some Knicks basketball on Fubu TV. All right. That is our show. Hold on, me shout out to the chat. Cause I ain't even acknowledged the chat all day. I see my man Jay Boogie's in the chat. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Shout out to Corey Lee, Jason M, JT Reddick, my guy Nugget Fresh is in the building. Theodore Rivera. We'll see. Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. We'll be back. We'll be back tonight, talking Knicks Hornets and the outcome of that game. All right, cool. All right, that was our show. We out of here. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. All right, that is our show. We out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.